I just want to talk again a little bit about some of the imperceptible changes that take place that a lot of people don't notice. Yeah, as soon as he stops going after flies. Just want to show you something here. He had an issue with his ear. Wouldn't let me touch it. Would pull his head away. Now he's still moving the ear a tiny bit, but he's not moving his head. Okay, that doesn't seem like a big deal, but it is to me. And it actually is a sign of his trust in me, his comfort level around me. Oh, and I'm not ready to ride him yet, but we did just tack him up again today because in the past that's been a bit of an issue, trying to get him to stand still for tacking up. And we did it with him standing at liberty. Just asked him to stay in one spot, and we didn't even have to tie him, which in the past has been a huge issue. Actually, he didn't like being tied in the first place, and I suspect that when the day comes I decide to tie him up here, it's not going to be an issue at all, because the things that caused the problems in the first place had nothing to do with tying. It was more his disrespect, disobedience, and rebellion, and type of, things like that. Because horses aren't a whole lot different than humans in that respect. Sometimes their behavior is very similar, and you just got to see beyond the surface of what is a symptom and what the actual cause is. It had nothing to do with not liking to be tied. It was just, that was just an excuse to act like a jerk. And trying to bridle him, trying to saddle him, always a challenge. Getting a halter on him was even a problem sometimes. He would be quite defiant about that some days if he thought he was going to get ridden. So we've been working on that, repeatedly taking it off and putting it on. And, all I got to do now is just say, hey, come over here and get your halter on. And he gets his halter on. So sometimes you got to pay attention to really tiny little things, because they really do mean a lot more than you think they do. Like the whole issue with his ear here, that's just an ear, no big deal. I ride in a halter, so I don't even have to actually touch that ear to put a halter on him. I could have very easily ignored that, but it is actually a sign of a much bigger thing. That is a trust issue. He feels safe with me now, and just a little FYI here, a bit of background on this guy. He's actually a rescue horse. He came from another province, was brought over with a few other horses, I don't know how many exactly, was trained and then rehomed here. Unfortunately, he has since gone through a few homes, been to and from a couple. And at this particular moment, although his current owner is kind of fond of him as a horse, they don't like riding him because they don't trust him. He's a handful. And I think those problems are all going to go away real quick. And I'm suspecting that in a very short period of time, my butt's going to be in that saddle, and we're going to ride this guy in a halter. I said before, this is a horse that had an issue with a bit, but I don't use one, so I don't care. He's soft enough in a halter. As you can see, he'll do anything I want in a halter. I don't need a bit. A lot of people think you got to control the horse. No, you got to communicate with the horse. And the reins, they're just a communication device. And if I'm talking nice to my horse, I don't need a bit to let the horse know what I want. I can communicate without one. So I find them entirely unnecessary. A bit's entirely unnecessary, in my opinion. Lots of people use them. They want to. That's fine. Used properly, not really bad, but I see a lot of advantages to not using one, and so I won't. And we work on the little things here, like I said. The little ear issue, doesn't seem like a big deal, but you know what? I think that's made a huge difference in our relationship. He's trusted me enough that, he's not going to disrespect me. He trusts me to keep him safe. If I ask him to stand still while I'm tacking him up, he trusts that it's okay to do that. He doesn't feel the need to wander off. He trusts that whatever I do with him isn't going to hurt him, isn't going to be something that's going to annoy him or upset him. And actually, I just noticed something today that was kind of interesting. Is he was actually getting a little nervous about being tacked up, and I thought that was kind of interesting because in the past he was a bit of a bully around here, and I think just like with humans, that whole bully image and the tough guy image that he was putting on the outside was actually just a front, because when it comes right down to it, got a pretty nervous, scared little horse here, and we're going to work on that. Got to see beyond the surface, see beyond the things you see on the outside. Take a good look at the big picture. There's always more than what you see. And in this case, a perfect example. He used to be a bit of a bully around here. Acted like a tough guy. Wasn't one of the more spooky horses. Pretty confident in a lot of things, but I think a lot of that was just a front that actually he is a pretty nervous, scared little horse. And we need to help him with that. And that's what we're going to do. We're going to work on that. We're going to help him with that. We're going to help him feel safe and confident, and knowing that no matter what we ask him to do, it's going to be okay, and he's going to be okay. Nothing bad's going to happen. And I just want to add on a little bit to addressing symptoms versus problems. A lot of people like to tie their horse while they're tacking it up. I don't. And I got a couple of reasons for that, aside from the fact I think, it really stresses your horse out and is going to actually make problems worse. Tying actually only addresses a symptom. It doesn't address the problem. The reason the horse needs to be tied and is moving around in the first place is because it's nervous. It's restless for a variety of reasons. And as you can see, this guy's not tied. Wants to move a little bit, but not bad. And that saddle's not even done up. It's just sitting on him right now. I'm just going to pull it off again. And the whole point is I want to achieve this kind of calmness with him. I want him to be this relaxed that I don't have to tie him. I want to be able to have him just stand here in one spot with a saddle on him and not have to have him tied. As you can see, clearly he is not tied. And I am not holding on to him there. I got the camera in one hand, my other hand's right here. Nothing stopping him from moving. And that saddle is just sitting there on his back right now, and it isn't falling off. It's not going anywhere because he is now calm and relaxed. And that's what you want to achieve. You don't want to have to tie your horse. I mean, I'm not saying you should never be able to tie a horse. Absolutely, you should be able to. But I think that's a kind of a Band-Aid. Tying doesn't solve a problem. Tying deals with a symptom of a problem. The problem is you got a nervous, stressed out, restless horse, and what you want to do is you want to make him calm and relaxed so that he's quite content to just stand here while you muck about and do whatever you got to do with the tack until you get it just right. Makes your life a whole lot easier, and if you address the problems that the horse has in the first place, makes his life a lot easier. Okay, have a good day, folks.